Okay, I'm going to be answering some subscribers' questions here as far as what you need to do to move to the Philippines, what kind of things you need to take care of before you get here. And I'm going to clock this and see if I can get this into one video. It may take two different videos. First off, I had a couple of homes. I can give you some examples of what it took me to move. And it's kind of like shoes, they don't all fit with everybody, so just kind of use what I have to say as a guideline. I had two houses. I sold one of them and gave the other one away. I had some issues with the title on the other one. I could have rented it out and kept it, but then I might have ended up having to go back to America to deal with renters, and for me it just wasn't worth it. There wasn't enough money involved in the houses to warrant hiring a property management company to take care of my stuff. So I went ahead and sold the one, and I gave the other one away. And y'all's applications may be different. When I sold everything, I spent some quality time at the appraisal district and took care of all the matters that needed to happen, property taxes on both properties, and followed up with them a couple of times and make sure that everything got recorded, and they did. Your title company's supposed to get everything recorded at the courthouse, but sometimes they make mistakes, so it's really your responsibility to make sure that everything's been properly filed and documented. I paid all my property taxes, and I hung around just long enough where the tax bills came in, and I was able to hand carry my payments in and got receipts for them. I had a post office box. I had one for many years, actually most of my life. And you're going to get a bunch of junk mail there. So I have a friend who used to ship a lot of my audio stuff. I was sold speakers worldwide, and he used to take care of my shipping for me, and he also has a private post office box. So I switched my post office box over there. That way I didn't get all the junk mail and the magazines, and I only picked a select few people that I needed to know where I lived, like the IRS, Social Security, and half a dozen banks and credit card companies, and that's it. I don't want any more junk mail. So if you have a post office box, you're going to have to rely on a friend to go by there once a week or so and clear the junk out, and this way you don't have to check it that often. I'm going to try. I've got a list right here. I'm kind of a cheat sheet, so I'm going to have to go through this list and do it as best I can. Credit cards. Credit cards is a very important thing. You want to make sure when you come to the Philippines that you don't burn your bridges credit-wise. If you close out all your credit cards and you need to go back to America the next year or the following year, 3 years later, you're going to be in some pretty deep trouble because you have no more credit cards, and your credit history is going to be pretty much tanked out. And if you'll go to your credit card companies and tell them you're moving to the Philippines, and some of them will tell you 6 months, some of them will tell you a year, but they will still let you use your credit cards for that period. You need to tell them that you are leaving and where you're going, because sometimes they won't authorize purchases unless you have let them know ahead of time. Now, I've been here almost a year, and I'm still using 3 or 4 of them, not because I have to, but because I do so to keep them active. I had a big ticket item. I bought a TV, so I slapped it down on a credit card real quick so I can carry it out without having to go get pesos and do the conversion and everything. So by doing that, I'm able to pay that credit card off over a few months as well, which maintains my credit history. I had a credit card with Best Buy. Well, there's no way in the world I'm going to be able to use a Best Buy here. And again, this is an example for some of your other cards, like department cards or hardware cards. So with Best Buy, I went ahead and closed my account out before I moved here. I paid off every debt I owed. I could have skipped. I was criticized for not paying my bills, or for paying my bills off. It was about $25,000 I could have had in my pocket to retire on here, which I need. But my integrity was worth more than that, so I paid everything off. And when I paid off Best Buy, I told them I wanted to cancel my account because it's going to show up in your credit report as closed by card holder, not closed by lender. That's something real important for your credit scores. If you've got a bunch of bank cards and gasoline cards and department cards and are closed by the company, that can take a negative impact on your credit account. So always try to close your accounts out if you know you're not going to need them. I've got 3 or 4 more bank cards. Now, when you're using your cards here, and they show a period of activity to where you're using your charge cards and you're paying them off, and they can see that you're in the Philippines, more than likely you're not going to lose the ability to use them. I'm actually getting some credit cards have been renewed, and somebody's picking up my mail for me at my private P.O. box. That private post office box is great because a good friend is going by there once every couple of months, and I know when I expect stuff, so that's good. And they don't. It's not a big burden on anybody. One thing you need to realize when you move here, it's pardon me if I bounce around, but I'm kind of thinking of stuff that's not on the list, is your DOA letter from Social Security. That's dead on arrival. If you don't, Social Security will sometimes send out notices to people just to see if they're still alive. It's called a dead or alive letter, and they'll mail it to you, whatever mailing address that you give them, and you've got to reply within a certain period of time or they're going to cancel your Social Security benefits. So that's good to have somebody checking your mail for you and being able to let you know what these cards are. All right. Let me look down my list here. Utilities, of course, you want to pay off all your utilities. I paid my water in advance because I knew I was leaving town before I got the bill. I gave them a little extra money, and I told them to donate it to the elderly or the needy when the bill comes in. I was kind of on a one-on-one basis with City Hall there in League City when I left, and so they're going to, whatever overage it was, they're going to apply. Cell phones. Let's talk about cell phones. If you've got a cell phone number and you want to keep that number, you can do what's called porting. You can get a Magic Jack device and port that number over to your Magic Jack device, and it's basically a transfer. I paid for a Magic Jack device, which comes with 1 year, and then I got 5 more years additional time, so I got 6 years of Magic Jack plus the device, and the total is $200. Now I've got 2 phones over here. One of them is my Magic Jack from a Houston line, and the other one is my Philippine line. For me to get my internet over here, my hardwired internet, I had to pay for a telephone. So I've got a local telephone here, and as well as my Magic Jack. The Magic Jack is totally free to America, I believe Canada, so there's no charge.